have wasted all these hours that you could have placed into one tool that could develop you to become a master. So now this is the action plan that I want you to take. First, you have to pick a strategy that you know is somewhat powerful. Elliott wave, the basic support and resistance format, EMA, BBMA. Pick one and commit to building the hours that you need.
Now once you have begin to pick the tool, the strategy or the approach that you want, what should I do? This is where many fails. Firstly, you have to understand, although I say there must be 10,000 hours required to become a master, but then we have to be strategic. We have to understand that the trading as a retail trader, we are constrained by the time frames. There is the M1, M5 and 15 and 30, H1, H4, daily, weekly and monthly. There is 9 time frames because this is the most important part. Multi-time frame trading is very important for you to master because different time frames will produce different impact and different directions. So, what I've seen is when you start with a plan, you will be the trader that will jump across the time frames, trading whatever you feel like trading within there. So you can't. Meaning to say, on a micro perspective level, you are repeating back the mistake of diluting your hours to picking the strategy. So now don't dilute your hours by picking the time frame. So how do you do it well? Do this. Pick a time frame, trade that time frame for 20 hours. How you want to jot that down? Up to you. I can recommend you either to use Notion, Canva, Telegram, or if you are an old school by heart, write it down. Once you have passed through 20 hours, regardless of the outcome, because you are not a master, so you can't expect great outcomes, you move on into the next time frame, M5. You trade it based off the same ruling of your approach, but within that time frame. Trade it for 20 hours and see the outcome. You repeat this until you go up to H4. Because why? Daily, weekly and monthly will take too much time. So once you have gone through all of this, you will see which one do you like to trade. Because one thing I've realized is, I found pleasure in trading H4 and weekly. So that is where my trades are questionable to the new traders. They cannot comprehend, why does this guy enjoy taking 100 to 200 pips SL and struggling his way trying to get 200 to 400 pips TP, or sometimes taking a 60 pips SL to go for a 250 pips TP. Why can't you just TP at 20 pips and then you just keep doing it again and collect 5 times a day, you get 100 pips. So that is where I cannot recommend you, because it is the preference that you found. It is like finding passion from within the adventure. So for me personally, that is what works for me. It works well with my state of mind. It works well with my time, because I'm not a full-time trader now. I have a cafe, I have a plantation, I have a boat charting business. So to dilute across all of that, I don't have the luxury to stay at 1 minute and 5 minute time frames anymore. But if you are a new inspiring trader that is addicted as if you are an addicted gamer, explore what works for you, because to me, everyone is always right. But the approach must be accurate so that you don't put your outcome as an unknown variable. So once you have understood this and you can spend 20 hours within each time frame with your preferred choice of trading tool, then only you decide, as that is your thesis for your first exploration of yourself. Some people, they can find themselves in a year. So by doing this kind of approach, they can develop what works for them and quickly they can become better. Some people takes 2 to 3 years because the things that they want might be big. So the hours that you must put also has to be big. It's not that you are not good, but you are not where you want to be. So this is the dilemma that a lot of traders have, because when you don't have the stability of the mind to sit down, to relax, to just reassess your approach, you are going to be spiraling down the train of disastrous market meltdown. You will tend to see you will redeposit, rechanging your strategy, rechanging your target. So this is where you will fail. For example, in the recent market, let's take a look. You can see gold went on a heavy meltdown, correct? And the beautiful part was, I think 2 weeks ago, I said if it touches 1942.7, I expect a 400 to 600 pips drop. But because I missed the first entry, I believe that it has to go back there. But then I realized if the prophecy does come true, I will be in a terrible pain. But because of the hours spent, what did I do? From never using SL, I changed it to using SL, and I changed the approach of taking 40 to 60 pips because I want to ride the sell again. But I've missed the sharpest point, so I cannot execute what I want. So when I don't get what I want, what happens? I can be very angry and I can fight the market. I can just keep buying and believing and buying and believing. Do you see? I did not change that emotional side of me. It's still happening. I still have the bias to buy. But am I damaged by the meltdown? Were we damaged by the meltdown? No, because a certain shift of strategy had to take place. Now this comes down to the second theory in this video, the Dreyfus model skill acquisition that was done in 1980s. The Dreyfus model of skill acquisition that was proposed by Stewart and Hubert Dreyfus in the 1980s describes how learners progress through various stages in their journey, from being a novice to achieving expertise in a particular skills. So this model outlines 5 distinctive stages. Stage number 1 is the novice. Stage number 2, it's the advanced beginner. Stage number 3 is what they call it to be competent. Stage 4 is proficient, and stage 5 is experts. The progression through this stage then, this is where the fun part comes. It is not always linear because learners might move back and forth between stages depending on various factors like changes in the context of the market, or the complexity of the task, or the complexity of their emotion. However, the Dreyfus model offers a useful framework to understand the journey from being an absolute beginner to achieving expertise in a particular domain. So now, when we understand this, these are theories that has been done by people who have helped others across the world. So, putting down our ego, we have to take this and then compare it with our current world. Does this make sense? Did what Stewart and Hubert did, does it make sense? Is the 10,000 hour rule, does it make sense? Let me just share you a perspective. What you are looking at right now are lists of top gamers across the world. Look at the hours. This guy, 2 years worth of hours played. This is not hours online, or this is not hours of what the account was created. This is hours that they have played. Have you done the same? So when we know we haven't, don't allow our stupid ass mind to tell us that we can't do it. Go through your first 1,000 hours with those frameworks, choosing your approach and never mixing it up. Putting in 20 hours into each time frame regardless of the outcome. Compile the ending of your thesis and see which one performed the best. Once you have that data, destroy your emotions and only work with what you have produced based off the data. For example, if after 20 hours of each time frame have been spent, and then you realize you somewhat succeed very well in the 15 minutes and the daily time frame, meaning to say from the ratio perspective, or the duration that it takes to blow your account, or the potential amount of flips that you could do in one trade, which one worked the best, you try then take 2 out of the 5, and then you repeat again, because now you have put 50-20 hours here, 20-50 hours here. Now let's build this into 300 hours and 300 hours, halfway from 1,000 hours, which is almost 10% of the mastery journey. And I assure you, and if you can reach that part, that first 1,000 hour, you will then set a different path of life in this career. I assure you, you can think this is bullshit, but I never moved in my life without any planning. And that's the only reason why you could see crazy shit happening to me, but then you question why did it happen to you. But you also question why does it happen to some of them, but not you. Because I assure you, people like Mr. Juan Wu, people like Zhao Ha, Farmas, Neo, the list can go on. They had to put in the hours because their life needed them to. They were in very tough positions of life, and I believe in that period and circumstances is where a man do not waste his time. So that's when they could spend 6 months, same like you, but produce a very different outcome that is different than yours. So now this is why it happened. Now you have the information. What are you going to do with it? And I think to sum it up again, which is very strategic, to put aside all the babbling that I went through, what do you have to do? 10,000 hours is what you need to become a master. And I believe if you are a master in trading, you are making $500,000 a month. So when I look back at my hours and when I look back at my approach, I think I have placed around 7,000 to 8,000 hours. But when I thought about the quality of those hours, I think I'm at 4 hours. So now I'm not where I want to be yet. So what do I have to do? I will produce the hours in educating you guys so that I take the time in educating myself. Because to make this one video requires 5 hours of confirmation. What the fuck do I say? So then I am enjoying this. So I hope when I cross that 4, 5, 6, 8,000 hours, you are there to watch it with me. And I'm here to watch your growth, and let's help each other grow in the future together. So to the next episode, if you have a great question, a great dilemma, a great crisis, a great story, whatever it may be, wherever you are in this world, send down in the comment down below. We will go through it and we will take up what we believe could be very useful for the other traders across the world. This is Mr. Cloud signing into your life in hopes to making 2024 a better future for all of us.